Once upon a time, in a small town nestled between rolling hills, lived Chris, a kind and hard-working man, and Esther, a bright and compassionate woman. They had met through mutual friends and quickly fell for each other. Their relationship blossomed over shared moments, long conversations, laughter, and dreams of a future together. Chris loved how Esther was gentle yet strong, and Esther admired Chris's generosity and optimism. After a few years of courtship, Chris decided to propose. He imagined a life with Esther filled with love, adventure, and family. Esther was overjoyed and said yes without hesitation. The wedding planning began, and soon they stood before their family and friends, exchanging vows and promising each other a lifetime of love and support. However, as they settled into married life, a subtle tension began to arise between them. It wasn't that Esther did not love Chris, but her sense of independence and personal space often clashed with Chris's need for togetherness. Chris, who loved being in the company of Esther, often wanted to spend all their time together. He imagined their marriage as a constant partnership, where they were inseparable. Esther, on the other hand, had always been a person who cherished her time alone, enjoying moments of solitude to recharge. She loved Chris dearly, but she wasn't always inclined to be the hoster in their relationship as someone who constantly entertained or tended to his needs. She believed in a balance, where they could be close but still have their personal time to grow as individuals. As time went on, Chris began to feel distant, not understanding why Esther wasn't as available to him as he had hoped. He would plan outings or try to start deep conversations at moments when Esther needed quiet, which left him feeling rejected. Esther, in turn, started to feel overwhelmed, as if Chris wanted more from her than she could give at all times. One evening, after a particularly quiet dinner, they finally had an open conversation. Chris expressed how he felt neglected, yearning for more attention and connection. Esther, holding his hands, explained her city that while she loved him deeply, she wasn't the type of person to always host his emotional needs. She needed space to be her own person too, and loved him any less. They both realized they had different expectations of what marriage looked like. Chris had envisioned a life where they would always be together, sharing every moment, while Esther had seen their marriage as a union of two people who still maintained their own identities and space. Together, they worked through the differences. Chris learned to appreciate Esther's need for independence, understanding that their love wasn't defined by constant togetherness but by mutual respect and understanding. Esther, in turn, made more effort to be present when Chris needed support, finding ways to show love without compromising her sense of self. Over time, their marriage became stronger. They found a rhythm that allowed them both to thrive, with Chris learning to enjoy his own hobbies and friendships outside of their relationship, and Esther finding joy in the moments they shared together. Their love evolved into a partnership built on trust, where they didn't need to constantly host each other's emotions, but simply be there when it mattered most. Chris and Esther built a life that honored both their individuality and their togetherness, proving that love is not always about being in